Have you ever found it challenging to forgive someone who has wronged you? It's a question we've all asked ourselves at some point. But what if I told you that forgiveness is less about the other person and more about you? Yes, you heard it right. Forgiveness isn't about excusing someone's actions or forgetting the hurt they've caused. It's about freeing yourself from the chains of bitterness, anger, and resentment that can hold you back. Imagine it as a backpack filled with heavy stones. Each stone represents a grudge, a hurt, a resentment you're holding on to. The more you hold, the heavier it becomes, slowing you down. Forgiveness is about removing those stones one by one, lightening the load and allowing you to move forward in life. Now, are you ready to unload that backpack? Let's delve into the journey of forgiveness. The first step towards forgiveness is acknowledging your pain. We're all human, and it's only natural to experience a full spectrum of emotions. Yes, even the ones we might label as negative. Sadness, anger, hurt, these are not emotions we should suppress or shy away from. They are part of the human experience, part of our journey through life. Imagine you're on a journey and you come across a turbulent river. On the other side of the river is forgiveness. You can't just leap over it, you can't ignore it or pretend it's not there. The only way to reach the other side is to find a way to cross it. In this case, the turbulent river represents your pain. To cross it, you must first acknowledge that it exists. When you've been wronged or hurt, it's okay to feel that pain. In fact, it's important to let yourself feel it. This is not about wallowing in self-pity or holding on to the hurt as a badge of honor. It's about accepting that the pain is there, that it's real and valid. Only then can you start to process it. But here's the crucial part. While it's okay to feel hurt and anger, it's critical to not let these emotions control us. They can be like a heavy weight, dragging us down, keeping us stuck in the past. We must not let them define us or dictate how we live our lives. So how do we do that? How do we acknowledge our pain without letting it control us? It starts with mindfulness, with being present with our emotions without judgment. It's about saying, I feel hurt, I feel angry, and that's okay. These are my feelings and I honor them, but they are not who I am. By acknowledging our pain, we validate our experiences. We take the first step towards healing, and in doing so, we make room for forgiveness to enter our hearts. Having acknowledged our pain, we can now embark on the journey of forgiveness. Forgiveness is not an event, but a process. It's a journey that begins with a single step, a decision to move towards healing and freedom. The process of forgiveness can be broken down into several stages, and the first one is acknowledgement. This means recognizing the hurt and the pain that was inflicted upon us. It's not about dwelling on the past, but rather acknowledging what happened and how it made us feel. Without this step, we cannot truly move forward. The next stage is understanding. This involves trying to see the situation from the other person's perspective. It does not mean excusing their actions or saying that they were right. It's about understanding their human flaws and frailty just as we have our own. This stage can be challenging, but it's crucial because it fosters empathy, which is a key part of forgiveness. The third stage is acceptance. This means accepting that the past cannot be changed. What's done is done. Acceptance allows us to release the hold that past hurt has on us, freeing us to live in the present and look forward to the future. The final stage is release. This is the point where we let go of the anger, the resentment, and the desire for revenge. We release these negative feelings and replace them with understanding and compassion. We choose to forgive, not for the person who hurt us, but for ourselves, to unburden our hearts and minds. It's important to remember that forgiveness is not linear. We may move forward and backward through these stages, and that's okay. It's part of the process. We need to be patient with ourselves and keep reminding ourselves of why we chose to embark on this journey of forgiveness. The process of forgiveness is a continuous effort. It's about making a conscious decision every day to let go of the hurt and move towards healing and peace. It's a journey that requires time, patience, and a lot of courage. Remember, forgiveness is a journey that requires time and effort. It's not easy, but it's worth it, because in the end, forgiveness sets us free. Now, let's talk about one of the most challenging aspects of forgiveness: forgiving ourselves. This step is often overlooked, yet it is a crucial part of the healing process. You see, we are all human. We all make mistakes. Sometimes we hurt others. Sometimes we hurt ourselves. And sometimes we may find that the person we're most angry with, the person who's caused us the most pain, is ourselves. Self-forgiveness is not about excusing our actions or denying responsibility. It's about acknowledging our mistakes, learning from them, and most importantly, allowing ourselves to move forward. It's about recognizing that we are more than our worst moments, that we are capable of growth and change. Because when we forgive ourselves, we give ourselves permission to heal. We release ourselves from the shackles of guilt and regret that keep us tethered to our past. But how do we forgive ourselves? The first step is to acknowledge our actions and the pain they may have caused. This can be difficult, but it's necessary. Next, we have to accept that we can't change the past. What's done is done. However, we can control how we respond to our past. We can choose to learn from our mistakes and strive to do better. Another crucial part of self-forgiveness is self-compassion. We need to be kind to ourselves, to treat ourselves with the same compassion and understanding we would extend to a loved one. We need to remember that it's okay to be imperfect, that it's okay to make mistakes, because that's how we learn, that's how we grow. Self-forgiveness is a journey, not a destination. It's a process that takes time, patience, and a lot of self-love. But the reward is worth the effort. Because when we forgive ourselves, we find peace. We find freedom. We find the strength to move forward, to become the best versions of ourselves. By forgiving ourselves, we allow ourselves to grow and learn from our past. And isn't that the most beautiful thing? To grow, to learn, to become better. After all, isn't that what life's all about? The next step is forgiving others, and it's not about forgetting or condoning their actions. It's about releasing the grip of past hurts and liberating ourselves from the shackles of resentment. When we talk about forgiving others, we're not suggesting that you forget the pain they've caused or that you excuse their behavior. Absolutely not. Forgiveness is not a pardon for their actions, nor is it an invitation for repeated harm. Rather, forgiveness is about reclaiming your peace, your joy, your power. Imagine carrying a heavy backpack filled with rocks. Each rock represents a grudge, a resentment, a hurt caused by someone else. The more rocks you carry, the heavier your load, the more it weighs on your shoulders, your heart, your life. Forgiving others is like taking those rocks out of your backpack one by one. It's about lightening your load so you can move forward freely, unburdened. Now, forgiving others isn't always easy, and it certainly doesn't happen overnight. It's a journey, it's a process, and it's okay if it takes time. Remember, forgiveness is not for them, it's for you. It's for your healing, your freedom, your peace of mind. And here's something else to remember. Forgiving someone doesn't mean you have to let them back into your life. It doesn't mean you have to trust them again or even interact with them. You can forgive someone and still maintain healthy boundaries. Forgiveness and boundaries are not mutually exclusive. They can and often do coexist. So how do we forgive others? We start by acknowledging the hurt, then we make a conscious decision to let go of the anger and resentment. We choose to focus on the lessons, the growth, the strength that emerged from the pain. We choose to see ourselves not as victims, but as survivors, as warriors, as individuals who can rise above the hurt and transform it into wisdom, resilience, and compassion. By forgiving others, we free ourselves from the chains of bitterness and resentment. We choose to live lighter, freer, happier. We choose to unlock the power of forgiveness, and in doing so, we choose to unlock the power of our own healing and growth. To recap, forgiveness is a powerful tool that can help us move forward in life. It begins with acknowledging our pain, allowing ourselves to feel the full spectrum of our emotions, even the negative ones. It's crucial to understand that forgiveness is not a one-time event, but a process. It takes time and effort to let go of anger and resentment. Equally important is forgiving ourselves. We all stumble, make mistakes, and have regrets. Self-forgiveness is about acknowledging our own shortcomings and choosing to learn from them rather than letting them define us. And finally, forgiving others. This doesn't equate to forgetting or condoning their actions. It's about releasing the negative emotions tied to the hurt, freeing ourselves from the chains of resentment. Remember, forgiveness is a choice to let go and move forward, free from the burdens of the past.